All right, this is the last section of chapter 11. It's pretty easy. If you remember, in order to prove similarity, what we were doing is determining if they were proportionate. So if I had 2/3 equals 3/5, I know this is an easy one and you can see it. Remember, we would cross multiply and we would see if they're not equal, we would say they're not similar, they're not growing proportionately. If I had 2/3 equals something over 6 and I wanted to find x, remember what we did? We would cross multiply and then we would divide it by 3 to find out that our x is equal to 4. Okay? So that's basically what we're doing on this, proving similarity of three-dimensional shapes. So how you set this up, radius over height equals radius over height. Do your cross multiplying and you'll see I do not get the same thing on both sides. I get 4 times 12 is 48 and 7.5 times 6 is 45. They don't equal each other, therefore they're not similar. This one, same thing. It doesn't matter how you set it up the first one, it just matters that you set the second one up exactly the same. So I went height over base. Make sure you go height over base on the next one. Do your cross multiplying, and in this case, you'll see that 81 does equal 81, and in this case, they are proportionate. You need to check all of them here. So remember, here's your length, here's your width, here's your height, length, width, height. So length over width equals length over width. Then you need to check length to height. Does it equal this length to this height? And then you need to check width to height. Does that equal the width to height on that one? So if you check here, you get 30 and 30. If you check here, you get the same. And if you check here, you get the same. So this is a yes. That's the word yes. So all I did was check the proportionality of each piece. Same thing with this one. You're just going to set it up as radius to height equals radius to height. Clearly can see you do not the same thing when you cross multiply, so it's a no. This one I'm missing my x, so radius to height equals radius to height. Remember, we're going to do 4.5. Do 4.5 times 8 divided by 6 to make sure x is equal to 6. So that means the radius of cylinder A is 6 centimeters. You could cross multiply and double check that you get 36 and 36. Got it. Same process on this one. Pick one that you have though. So I would do length to length because I have those measurements, and then height to height because I'm looking for the height of this one. Do your 15 times 3, which is 45, divided by 10, which is 4.5. So the height of this box is 4.5 inches. You could have done width to width equals height to height too. You would have gotten the same type of process. 18 divided by 4, 4.5 inches. Okay, Lita made a model of her fish tank for her dollhouse. The model is 1/25 the size of the original. Here is the original dimensions. So remember, the model is 25 times smaller, okay? 25 times smaller. So you need to find the dimensions of the model by dividing each one of those by 25. So if you did 120 divided by 25, you get 4 8/10 times 30 divided by 25 is 1 2/10 times 38 divided by 25 is 1 52/100. And remember, volume is just multiplying those three numbers. So 4 8/10 times 1 2/10 times 1 52/100. And you will get approximately 8 8/10 centimeters cubed, because we're talking about volume. So again, remember, it's 25 times smaller. So you need to get each one of these 25 times smaller, and the way you do that is to divide it by 25, because I'm looking for the model, and the model is smaller. Because the next problem we're going to do is reversing it. Yep, they showed you the challenging way. This one is telling you that the model is 1/50th the size of the actual, but it gives you the volume of the model right here. So you can't just divide this by 50, because remember, we had to divide it 3 times by 50. So your volume will actually be 50 cubed times bigger, because I'm looking for the actual, and the actual is bigger. Why times 3? Because remember, in order to find the volume, I needed to go like this. And remember that each one of these numbers were originally divided by 50, because they're 50 times smaller. So you're going to go 50 cubed, which is 125,000 times 72. And you will get 9 million inches cubed. That's it. Good luck.